All right, now then, we have this edge here done. We have the original surface over here. So now we need to turn this edge here a little bit. So I'm going to start right up in here with this flake first. And then we're going to come back in here, change this angle a little bit so we can get another flake coming back up here. So edge up, short flake. Trim this back just a little bit, and that's strengthening this edge, and it's also changing this angle here just a little bit, just a touch steep for what I needed. Few little flakes straight down here to help strengthen that edge a little bit. Now then, we're going to come up in here on this tip right here, but it's, as you can see, that angle's pretty steep. So all we're wanting to do is just take a short little flake and roll over this right here and just flatten that out just a little bit. And as this flattens out, the flakes are going to want to travel a lot easier and a lot further. Tilt that up just a little bit and just take little short flakes kind of right straight down. You can see it just kind of rolled over that edge right there, flattening this out a little bit. So the flakes are going to want to run further here without putting less stress in the rock. So now we're going to take and just bring this edge here up just a little bit more. And we're going to work down from the tip and work down into this thick edge right here. So one flake right here, and my platform's right there to come back this way. See the way that flattened out and those flakes run further. Now we're going to come right here. I'm going to strike it right here and come back this little ridge line we just created right there. Strengthen that edge up just a little bit. And here we're basically coming straight down, rolling that edge, tapering this edge right here back. Because before that edge was too steep. Alright? And if that edge is too steep, you can't catch that edge. It just wants to roll off. So like this edge right here, you know, even though it has an angle, you're wanting to hit high, real high in order to get a flake to come off. But if you flatten this out just a little bit by running flakes kind of straight down and back, it flattens that out. So now you can come in and grab that edge a lot easier. And these little blending flakes right in here is taken off. There's little lips that just kind of curl out. And you have to get rid of those to strengthen this edge, flatten this out just a little bit. And things, get rid of those underlying little lippy type valleys in there. Close to that edge. Because those little valleys will create weak spots for that flake to travel, and it'll cause that flake to end in a step or lose energy or something like that. So now then, we have our striking area right here. coming across this face of the rock right here. Edge up. You can see the way that this over here, this face is really, really flat, and you can see the way that antler, that flake, really expands out because there's no definite ridges for it to follow along. So that energy just comes in and balloons out. Now then, we need to flip it over. We have this square edge over here. Now, I'm going to come up here first and take a couple little flakes right in there. And this will kind of raise this edge right here up just a little bit. So what that does, it kind of helps define this little ridge right here and this little ridge right here. So now then, we're going to set it up. We're just going to kind of come about straight down, maybe into it just a little bit, and just roll this over this edge and flatten that out just a little bit, kind of like so. Now then, you can see the way it rolled this over. Now then, we're going to come up this way and work our way right on down here. I mean, you could come in here and tilt it up just a little bit. You can come in here, and a lot of guys will come in here and start stitching this right away. If you come in there and stitch it, and that's a great practice, but what happens is you lose a lot of width when you start stitching this, zippering this edge back and forth. So I like to come in here and set these platforms up and work kind of down and run these flakes kind of down these ridges and thin out ahead of myself. That way there, I'm keeping a lot more of the width of the rock. You can see the way these flakes come in there and expand out. They kind of run down this ridge and then come on out in the face of it there too. You can see we're thinning the piece and thinning down this edge as we come along, and we're doing a dual purpose here, and we haven't lost hardly any width at all. Where if you would have had to come in there and zigzag that edge back and forth to set up those platforms, you'd lose a lot of width and not accomplish anything other than just losing width. This way here, you're thinning as you come down the piece. Now then, I'm down about halfway here. I'm going to come in here and do the same thing down in here in the bottom that I did up here at the top. So I'm going to come down here at the bottom. I'm going to just take a couple little bitty flakes here. Kind of like so. And what that does is that helps thin this edge back here just a little bit, getting over that hump you had there. Now then, come in here, just a little flake down. There we go. Now then, we're started. And what that does, it sets up a half notch kind of deal. So this right here is my platform right here to come back this way. And it's just kind of a half notch type deal. And as it's doing that, it's also setting up other ridges, platforms as you go too. went. Now you see that's all gone. We thinned out some of it as we went, but it's also set up a lot of nice ridges for you to travel.